Alright, we're gonna let it go for a second. It's mine. The studio is taking shape. It's going to be bigger and better. Alright, the new studio is taking shape. It'll be bigger and better than anyone's studio. James Kaufman, World News Report today. Today is the 19th of June, 2025. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. I'm going to add one quick screen here. I can do it quicker than anybody. After 18,000 videos on YouTube, many 15,000, which they made me take down. Which is fine. Which is fine. Or we have to make it fine. Looking for a G1, aren't they? Alright. Let's start the show out. We just had an X flare, in case anyone wants to know. I believe it was directly Earth facing. And it was a little bit stronger than the X flares that we've seen in the past. We'll see if there's a Lasco C3 halo on it, but of course I don't think anything's going to show any information that's up to date. So, hey Tiff, hey Kyle, hey Aaron, LCD Gold. Good day, brother. I wish I was from Australia. But the only thing I'd like to change. Alright, so, except for all the box, jellyfish, because I'm a surfer, all the black or striped sharks, all the, I guess the crocodiles, not alligators, that are in the ocean, except for all the fun down there. Right? Alright, let's take a look at our KP indexes. I'm going to tell you what that is. It's kind of a mixture of our solar winds and plasma hitting Earth. And these are positioned on the planet in different areas. I've got these, and I've got one over in Germany just to kind of check our work. The estimated planetary index here, we just paid $1.3 million to update this index. It's in Boulder, Colorado. This is in Huntsville, Alabama, Boulder, Colorado is right up here. One of NOAA's offices. Fredericksburg, not so much. The college index, no one's been able to tell me, and if y'all can, please do, where it's located, but I'm guessing it's on a mountain or something elevated because it's much more sensitive than the rest. So what have we seen all day on all three of these other indexes? Well, we saw 3 hours of a geomagnetic disturbance. And I indicated that would happen yesterday. When they said nothing would happen, I indicated that we'd see a geomagnetic disturbance at the least. And I guess we were right. The rest of the day was very quiet as far as geomagnetic activity, geomagnetic storms. Okay? And we'll get a close-up on that here. It doesn't look like a geomagnetic, anything. And it wasn't. It was just an anomaly, just a disturbance. We're 0.33 away from a geomagnetic storm here. I believe that we will be going into a geomagnetic storm in the next several hours. Nothing you can do about it. It'll put me back in bed. Here's the German KP index. So they got a 4 plus. It's 4.33 inside Germany. So they're coming up with the exact same thing, a geomagnetic disturbance. Earlier in the day, each line is 3 hours of the day. So we can tell that's quite some time of the day. How's everyone doing tonight? So we just had a strong flare. They're calling it a strong flare event at X19. It's because we don't have any atmosphere left. Of course, that used to be a weak flare. And if y'all think the R3 radio blackout looks okay, well, we'll talk about that in a second, right? R3 strong event observed. An X1.9, almost an X2 flare occurred from region 4114 at 2350. So it's going to be 6:50 tonight, right before 7 p.m. on the 19th. That's I'm giving you Central Time versus UTC time. 6:50 Central Time. A flare is an eruption of energy from the sun that during the last minutes to hours, flares of this magnitude are not frequent. Okay. Well, let's see if they give us any more information. Region 4114 produced and why would they call it impulsive? Why would they drop that word in there? It's really weird. Impulsive X1.9 R3 strong flare at 2350 UTC time on the 19th. The region is the largest and most magnetically complex on the solar disk, despite in a decay phase. So they're saying it's decaying. Alright, how's everybody doing that? Are y'all decaying? It was a bad boy. Look how low the baselines went. They went all the way to B, after that thing. It's almost like it's releasing energy and going, once it does, it goes into a B flare every time. And you can tell by our goes short and really our goes 19 short that this just bottomed out below an A-level event after the flare event happened itself. Now, they were calling it an X1 point, almost 2. So we get here, 1.96 here. Again, that's about 10 minutes before the end of the day UTC time, which is about 10 minutes before 7 p.m. Right, I'm going to leave some of this up because we might need it. How's everyone doing tonight? Kyle, my government. I don't have a government. There's places that have opened up around me where you get drunk and you throw axes at wood. these are real places, and they're actual all over the place now. So you get drunk, and the best game they could figure out was to put a bunch of wood there with axes, and you throw knives and axes at wood. I mean, you want to talk about good times? That is good times. Now, it looks like 4114 has gone from Delta class to Beta Gamma class. You can see that X 1.9 solar flare peaking at 2340, 650 tonight. We have only a 15% chance of having another X flare, a 65% chance of having an M flare, a 99% chance of having, well, a C flare, which we're in a B baseline. Look, B, 8.13. Can anyone believe it? I think it has to do with when it releases a large flare. I believe that a lot of the pressure from the sun dissipates. It goes into a much weaker event. I'll leave that up too. And here is 4114. What's looking even worse is 4115. We've heard nothing from. Look at that bad boy. And 4117, okay? Total of 7 named sunspots, Earth facing here. But we've only ever heard from 4114 as far as a flare, and it looks like nothing's happening there. Nothing. 4115 looks like a badass mofo. Can't believe it's not Delta. And 4117, and I'm guessing 18 behind it, we're going to become very complex in the southern hemisphere. Very complex in the southern hemisphere. How's everyone doing tonight? Alright. And there's another look at the sunspots using another program, HMI Intensigram. You can see 4114 doesn't look like crap anymore. 4115 does, and so does 4117, and they have yet to have named 4118 here. So that's how we're at. That's where we're at. See if we can watch this X flare. It's going to be epic. We're going to be able to watch it for sure. So this is the X flare out of 4114 here. I want y'all to see this filament eruption, dark filament eruption of the side. Definitely sends a CME out into space. But our go-to target is right here, almost X2 class solar flare. X2 class solar flare. Now, this never gave us solar winds like we're expecting. There's questions all about that, right? Why didn't we get the solar winds we were expecting? Are these real coronal holes or fake coronal holes like this? We have several new sunspots that are coming around the limb here that they say they're already calling very dangerous. This is the new one that we just saw named here. 1718 right here, 4117, 4118. And it is looking very complex. Do these coronal holes exist? Well, based on how this one did, I don't know. Dark filament eruption, that's all in play. All right, we'll run through Lasco, but you know they haven't updated it. All right. Catherine, I try to give you purpose every day. I try to give myself purpose every day. So these are direct hits. One on the camera lens, and then 2 on the camera lens. Those are direct hits. And go to them. These are direct hits on Lasco. That's one of them. It's kind of neat because you can see the stars, how they really line up without all the mumbo jumbo. And then it's another direct hit today. Does anyone know what plant this is? Alright. It's going to have to be, is that going to be Jupiter? Is that going to be Jupiter, guys? It very well might be Jupiter. Any correction, any plasma to see if it did, hurl a coronal mass ejection, which I'm sure it did, towards Earth. I would guess it would be a halo eruption, right? So I get it back together. I don't know what I did. It's YouTube. We're connected. Alright, we're connected. I don't know what I did. I must be calling their bluff. Bob, this shit gives me headaches and makes me sit in the bed. I got it, guys. Makes me in the bed when I should be out and about. I was out and about with the boys in the new Bronco tonight. And I did a video and fucking fell asleep. I must be getting old, man. Old. I feel like I'm so young. We're out picking up chicks in the Bronco convertible, and then James is snoring at the computer. I woke up snoring with a drink poured. The ice didn't quite melt, but the drink was poured. Alright, let's get back to where we were. Let's see how screwed up they are. And I have not looked into this, but they've never been right one time in their lives, so I'm going with screwed up, okay? Look at it, the 20th. They haven't updated this since the 20th. Are they in the bunkers? I know tonight's the 20th because my friend lost his daughter tonight. He loses her every other Thursday or every Thursday night. And look here, this has not been updated for 6 or 7 days. None of this has been updated for 6 or 7 days. Are they in the bunkers? I bet they're in the fucking bunkers, okay? Here we go on the 20th. Plasma started out at 5 and bumped up and reached, I don't know, it started at 5, let's see. Started at 4, bumped up and reached about 5, 4 to 5. Solar winds on the 20th started at 400 and went down to about 375. Now, I do want to pull up. Well, actually, I have those pulled up. Where are they? Well, let's play this on the X-ray first. this will be our radio alternation on the X flare. And I'm not seeing it. They called it an R3 radio blackout, which would be huge. The radio alternation should go way deep here. Alright, that was probably it, and nothing happened. I'm going to do this manually. Gosh, so weak for an R3. That was it, of course. So weak for they're calling it an R3 radio blackout? I don't think so. Where's the red? Where's the radio alternation? I don't think so. I don't think so. Alright, remember we said here 4 to 5, and then here we said 400 to 375, and then I happen to see my real-time solar wind here, and we'll pull up 2 satellites. Just check it. Just check it. How's everybody doing? God bless you guys. Hey, can someone give me a super chat? I can't work this hard for no super chats. Please. I'll beg if you want me to. I'll beg. I'm giving y'all a connection. The connection's always good. Anyone that says it's not is just full of shit. Alright. Look at the plasma down at 1. So remember, it said from 4 to 5, but it never went over 2. So plasma is not even something to look at. We can see that our shields have been down here in pink, all but for a few hours of the day when the solar winds popped up here. Just a few hours of the day, probably 2 hours, 3 hours of the day, shields are down, and then we jump down to solar winds. What were they supposed to do? Let's look again. Let's look again. They were supposed to, James, start off at 400 and end up at 375. Well, what did they do? Well, they started off above 550 with some really high readings here. 620, a 624. These going, look at these readings up here, man. 650. So 400 to 425, just, well, we'll see what happens. Then a huge cliff here up to 568. The coronal hole this would not make sense for the coronal hole. I don't know what caused this short 3-hour period of strong solar winds. Then it dropped back down to 485, and we're looking for less than that. And then instead of finishing off where we thought it would, it went up. It went up to 540. It went up to 540. Where do we think it would go? It's not that we think it would go there. We knew they'd be wrong, right? 400 to 375. We're at 550. That would be right about here. Right about here. What an embarrassing performance. The Space Weather Prediction Center, after the millions of dollars of upgrades that the taxpayers paid for, has done. And this is not an R3 radio blackout, just FYI. We will check our homework here. Gosh, but we see some really strange stuff up here at 100 centimeters cubed. Most everything's below 10 centimeters cubed here in the 2s. not in the 46s, but in the 2s. And we saw those 2 bumps. On the other one, that went up almost to 600. We're supposed to be going down, 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 400 to 375, right? That didn't work out. Look at the temperature. It was running normal, and then it popped up. The solar winds here. What would cause 3 hours of solar winds at 575 kilometers per second? Well, nothing that we know about. It wouldn't be that short term. It wouldn't be the coronal hole, right? It wouldn't be the coronal hole. I've got something that might explain it, of course. Something else is inbound, and they damn well know it. They damn well know it. This is the backside of our sun, guys. You can see it's just the composite. It's like someone said the other day, it's the first picture of the backside of the sun we've ever seen. No, we had stereo C. It was orbit in Earth's orbit stereo that was on the exact opposite side of the sun as Earth. It was clean, a beautiful picture. In 2017, it got knocked out, and they decided that either they didn't want to, because they have about 50 of them up there. They didn't want the public to be able to see what was happening on the back side of the sun. That's a period. That's a period. You gotta put a period somewhere. Let's put it there. We got 033 coming around. It's gonna be a big bad boy. We've got 035 and 036. Probably sunspots we've dealt with before, right? All right. SWPC magnetogram. Look at this reverse polarity. That's 4114. It's a reverse polarity sunspot in the northern hemisphere. Now, I get it. The sun's about to flip its magnetic poles as it does every 11 years. But, boy, we're on... Look, these come around positive over negative in the southern hemisphere. It's supposed to be 3 out of every 1,000. 3 out of every 1,000 sunspot seems to be every sunspot to me. All you gotta do is use your eyes to see. God gave them to you to do just that, right? Oh, that X-ray is gonna kill me tonight, man. I wonder if it hit. Let's go see if it hit over Hawaii again. I'll open it up over here. See if it hit over Hawaii again. God, do they always hit over Hawaii? Hawaii must be getting fried. Fried. Guys, I've been building my new studio. I will take pictures of it when I'm finished. Y'all remember how cool my old look right over Hawaii. I will if y'all have seen my old studio, it's cool as shit. This was really, I've gotten like 20 more computers and iPads and shit to navigate, but this is the old studio. The new studio is making the old studio look like crapola. But hey, that's how it should be, right? Look, these are all the old, look, which one y'all want to see? These are all the old studios. It ended up with a lot more computers in this. I don't know which one to show y'all. That was the 124-inch monitor. That's been replaced by a 145-inch monitor. I don't know which one's the coolest one to show you guys. Update, I guess, but we have a lot. This is way long ago. 2020, wow. Today, the studio is something special. We have also
James Kaufman, World News Report today, folks.
Today, now we have Apple involved. This is a Sony camera worth about $5,000 right here, but this is all changed. 2 printers here, 3 printers here, a server here, and I am rocking and rolling here. The studio is now, this is twice as big. This here is twice as big. It is something special to look at. I mean, I will take pictures of it with you guys. Look, I've got cameras everywhere. And this isn't even a touch of the studio. This is just something I turned on real quick to do a video. So much equipment behind me. You gotta have 2 of everything. Look, there's my old glasses. I have Nike glasses right now. Those don't even look like those. That's how I weigh marijuana right there. See that scale? Love you guys for understanding. Alright, back to the hee-haw. Alright. No, I don't think we saw Ace. And I really want to see Ace. So what I will do is we'll see, we did see Ace. We compared Ace. The backside of the sun, we did compare the backside of the sun, these 3 sunspots. 3.3, 3.5, 3.6. I feel like I'm in a bubble of monitors now, man. And I'm switching to my brand new, more high power computer, which should help us a lot. Look at this, hold it. Everyone said, where's the solar winds? The smart girls and guys did. I don't know, because they sure didn't hit us. Now, this is what's coming around here, more coronal holes. And this is 4117 and 4118. They're a little bit further out. There's 4114 that just nailed us. But whatever happened? We never went over 550? I don't know. All right, the European models. All right. Well, a lot of people are in underground bunkers right now. We're at a really high extreme level of North Korea. They have nothing to lose. Kim Jong's already had a heart attack. He's already had a stroke. He has nothing to lose. And he's got proven submarines that can launch from underwater. What a bad scene. And whoever said that, I would agree with you. Look at all the crap coming off the sun. I don't know if this makes them meaner. I'm thinking it makes them meaner, right? I do think it's funny how the European Space Agency, although they did get 65 here, terrible guess. We had 24. And today they're at 10, we're at 2, so that wasn't real good either. Today we're at 500 and then going down, not up, to 420. So you can always trust your Discover satellite and ACE satellite. They'll tell you the same information. The Europeans suck. Bunch of lazy fucking bastards. Did I say that? I meant wonderful blue-haired losers. Did I say that? I meant whoa! Alright. Space weather, guys. We got that sun coming around. Look, I told y'all when it got into this play here, saw it? Because of Venus, Sirius, Saturn, Neptune all lined up here and where the sun is now. This will be our first problem. But we're really going to have an ongoing problem for all of these days. All these days until I think about the 28th. About the 28th. So I know the 28th just next Saturday. So that shouldn't be too bad. I can't wait to show you all the new studio. It's ripping and roaring. I'm putting it together. All right. Problem alert. We have our planet, Earth, here, moving away from the Big Bang, being pulled by the sun, going left, orbiting the sun at 67,000 miles an hour, also coming right at you at 544,000 miles an hour via the toe or pull of our star, our Big Bang. And there's no bow shock up here. No bow shock up here. The bow shock and pressure is behind the place that's not facing the sun. So Earth is this little speck here. The Earth side or sun side is white. It's always changing. 265 degrees a day, so everyone gets a little sun. But the pressure is not changing with it. It's moving to the left at 67,000 miles an hour, and it's also moving at you at 544,000 miles an hour. But where's the pressure? Where's the pressure? It looks like we have some kind of jet engines behind the thing, okay? That's the only thing that this looks like to me. Ridiculous. There must be an outside source, and I did show y'all. Look, here's Earth. There's nothing behind Earth. I'll show you. There's nothing. Here's the sun. Here's Earth. Nothing behind Earth. All right. Let's get back to day one. Nothing behind Earth. Nothing whatsoever even thought to be there. Not even Pluto. Not even one of these minor planetary objects. So this is nothing but crazy here, man. This is crazy. Watch. Even when the solar winds hit, nothing happens. The pressure stays behind Earth for the last at least 7 hours. Talk about more good times than you wanted. Well, that's more good times than you wanted. All right. Live. Kyle, what is 666 light years away? 93 million miles, the sun. 144 million miles, Mars. All right. teach your own. It works out a lot better. Even y'all's number one person that said it was a plane for 10 years, he's changed his channel up. Now he argues that it's not a plane. And that's the truth. That's the truth. You must know that, right? The only ones that argue it's a plane are the stupidest ones, like Dirk. Wanted to be on my channel, I wouldn't even let him on. But Jeremiah, or whatever his name is, he's decided that the Earth is now a ball, a cylinder. Look, guys, we're going to turn this off, and we're going to kind of go rogue, if you will, rogue, and we're going to do all the headlines, but rogue-wise. If we get in trouble, we'll get in trouble. In other words, I'm not going to pre-read them and hold your fucking hand, okay? We're going rogue. We're going rogue. We'll save this one. We'll be back at in less than 15 minutes with our rogue version of headlines. God bless. X2 flare inbound. Coronal mass ejection inbound. We should be being hit by the X other flare today. So get ready. I warned y'all of that, even though they promised that no coronal mass ejection was uplifted. So at least we'll know what happened. And we'll be back in about 10 or 15 minutes with just a rogue. I say rogue because I'm not going to hold your hand, and things are going to be moving fast because I'm not going to pre-review every video. Too busy. Lots of love. We'll see y'all in 10 minutes.